Okay then. Hello, crime stuffers. This one's going to be for entertainment purposes only. um, I'm drunk. I shouldn't be making a video because I'm drunk on liberal tears. And I shouldn't have done it, but I couldn't help it. The Democrats are just putting on quite the show. So just try to understand. It's painful because they can't even understand why they lost. They don't know why they lost the election. Now, here's the other thing. We'll see how far I take this. But the one side, the alternative media, which seems to be kind of lockstep. You notice that if you watch all the different guys, the same guys come on each show around the same time, like the way they're bookings, whether it's about silver or whatever. So that side had the Republicans, the disciples of the conscious Whigs, believing that if their guy won, the other side was going to go nuts and start a civil war. Meantime, the other side of the cult says to their guys, if Kamala wins, those guys are going to start a civil war. And both sides are thinking, shit, if our guy wins, the other guys are going to start a civil war. Okay, right, it's one fucking cult, guys. We're Americans. Try to understand what we are. We're Americans. American citizens with a capital C. What they tricked people into doing was waiving their unalienable rights in return for benefits and privileges, like having insurance cover your abortion. We got guys, bruh. Okay, I spent all day, really, literally wasted a day of my life, but it was just so much fun watching all these liberals just melt down on, because okay, I'm out. I'm out. I'm freaking out. I don't fuck with that corporation. I'm not part of that corporation. I did not vote in that election, which makes me a bad guy apparently. But I'm an American, and I'm not an employee, dependent, servant, officer, citizen of the fucking corporation. I am not that. I am not. What I am is an American citizen. All right, I was born on the soil. Now, I don't have a beef with that corporation, and we should be at peace. But at the same time, that was a trick. They tricked you. And now what I'm hearing is they're such misogynists because they're not giving my daughter the right to kill my grandbabies. Are you listening to yourselves? So I'm going to be crude, rude, and socially unacceptable. And just like I said, it's the liberal tears talking. I'm drunk on liberal tears. What these guys got to do, apparently, is get their granddaughters. They got to teach them, since they're hanging out with fags anyway. Oh, I'm sorry. Since they're hanging out with censor that's naughty. You can't say that on YouTube's. Since they're hanging out with gender fluid individuals and people that are wanting to be, under the rainbow, teach them to take it up the ass. Just take it up the ass. Because if you take it up the ass, we don't have to worry about a baby. You don't have to ever make the choice between, here's the choice. Take it up the ass or kill the baby. And what these guys are going to do is kill the baby. And what I'm saying is, right? If you're going to be fucking. Simple as that. They shouldn't be fucking in the first place because it's generally promiscuous sex, and that is me being a complete and utter hypocrite. But the idea being, if they were in a more, how shall we say, moral upbringing, perhaps they wouldn't be, getting in trouble like that. But that's the thing. This corporation and its media, that's what it does. It's okay. What is it? Who owns 1871? The Organic Act. Who set this thing up? The Pope. What did he just get done doing? He got hundreds of thousands of Protestants to kill each other on the North American continent. I don't know what story you heard, but okay, so we have just come out of the Civil War. The southern states are like, fuck you, we're not paying your debts. And yeah, we property rights and all. Okay, still a matter of contention to this day. Ooh, and I can share screen if I want to. Uh-oh. We could be here for a while. Okay, so, oh, hey, they're talking over here. Exactly. That's me all day. What in the actual fuck is wrong with people? I've never said what in the actual fuck so many times as today. Because we're terrified. What are you terrified of? See, what they got Americans to do was do this, which is where I was going with this before I interrupted myself looking over here on the screen. But I mean, since Civil War time, what do they want? Do they want a united America? Hell no, they don't want a united America. What they want is us fighting with each other. Wrong flag. That is the battle flag of the Republic. Shall I show you the peace flag? Hold on a second. Oh, for God's sakes. I'm sorry. There you go. There it is. Oh, wait. And see, now I can go over here and then I can do this. And then I can, nope, I'm just going to do a window. Uh-oh, no. Oh, a tab. There you go. Okay, boom. Look at me, technology. See that right there? Yeah, that's the peace flag. That's the flag of the American citizen, right? Used by sovereign citizens. No, American citizens are sovereign, and this is not a battle flag. That is a flag of peace, which unites in Confederacy 50 states. And by the time this is all over, we may not have 50 stars on that flag anymore. Anyway. Let me go back to here. All right. So, good evening. But the idea being is that they were going to run a vapid candidate that didn't win a primary, that ran a coup on their own guy against a dream team. It's okay. So we were going to have, well, we have Trump and Vance and Tulsi and Elon and RFK. Oh my God. Okay, that's as good as having a president on the other side. I mean, he's going to be part of the administration and he's going to be doing, instead of being a president where he has to handle everything at once, he gets to focus on the things that are bothering him, which is the health part of it. And understand, you know what I can do? I can just go to my page and we can scroll a little bit and talk story as we scroll on my page. Would you like to do that on let's be 100 Monkey Story Time in social media land? Those little tears are just so delicious. I mean, there's nothing like it. There were times today when I was crying because I was laughing so hard. Just constant comedy gold because they're screaming and just they have They're mentally unstable. See, what they are is double-minded. James 1:8 or 8:1. I think it's 1:8. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways, and they've made them double-minded. And what they were trying to do to American citizens was make us double-minded too, because you can't. You're one or the other. Now, you can be an American citizen and have your in liege be a U.S. citizen, so it can do commerce with the corporation, or you can try and stay on the private. There's a million ways to do this, but the idea is when you choose to get benefits and privileges from the United States corporation, those benefits and privileges come with some obligations. Now, those obligations include waiving your unalienable rights voluntarily, except you didn't know you were doing that when you signed up for voter registration. So that sounds like fraud, doesn't it? I think that's fraud. Oh, yeah, and seeing I got a great email from Brandon Joe Williams. It was a blast mail. But it, his position and my position, I could have wrote this email. So I'll tell you what, let's go there, and then we'll go play on my webpage. Oh, look, it's telling me that I'm live. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, no, here's the one issue is I got to find it. There you go. Look how easy that was. All right. I'll just read this verbatim. This is just too awesome for words. Oh, and you know what? I can share a screen with you, so you can read right along with me. Okay. So let's see here. I'm going to be a Chrome tab again. And it's going to be that email. And here we are. Okay. Look how many tabs I have open. Just a few. We'll skip over that. All right. So I've got like 40 trillion messages. 400 trillion. That's a rather large number. So what he's saying is he was deluged about the Trump thing, right? Okay. Because understand, this is the business of a private service corporation that doesn't own me, has no contract, cannot prove that I'm their property. But see, what's happened, and we're going to have to talk about the Masons. They don't talk about the peculiar institution at all. They don't talk about that. They're not allowed. The peculiar institution being slavery. That peculiar institution, I assure you, is alive and well. And they instituted it right under your nose in a place called Libya. Because a couple of slavers who used the United States corporation for personal benefit and to do what the United States corporation does, which is run at a profit. And what are they running at a profit and what are they doing? Well, let's see, they traffic in children. What? Yes, I said it. It's the liberal tears talking, I'm telling you. And there's this guy who will give him the benefit of the doubt, is saying that now we got to stop this. Okay. But they went in and there was a guy that was feeding his people, had greened the desert, was educating his people. Anybody that wanted an education in Libya could come and go anywhere, United States, anywhere, Russia, wherever they wanted to study, state would pay for it. All they had to do in return is come back to and live in Libya. That's it. That was the contract. So you can go get educated abroad and come home. So if you become a doctor, an engineer, whatever, you're going to be a doctor or engineer in Libya. And the state would pay for it. And they're paying for your house, all on oil. But that wasn't about oil. That was about water. And I'm going to stop talking about that one because it gets upsetting. But they had a pretty good thing going. And right after we got done in there, they were selling slaves on the open market, in public. Anybody could go down there and film it. Yeah, black man costs you about $600. $600. This is insanity what's going on. So there's some people that want to stop that. And what they want to talk about is their daughter's ability to kill their grandchildren. That was their issue. That was the only fucking thing I saw. Oh, there are rights. Okay, what rights? Well, the right to an abortion, of course, you fool. Oh, okay. What other rights? Because do you have a right to tell me to teach you math? Back in the day, we had a lovely discussion about baking cakes for homosexuals. Can you be forced to contract? Well, yes, you fucking can, slave. Okay, if you're an American citizen, no, you have the right to say no. But if you've told them that you are a U.S. citizen by registering to vote in their bogus election, then you waived the right to say no, because you accept rights and benefits from the corporation, not from God. And you may be a little confused between yourself and the Enlegius. I was. I had the right. I read it to you on that last video. I even apologized that I had made a mistake, because there was a time when I thought that all caps name and me were the same damn thing. But Yusuf L, one of the first things I heard, like around 2000, I don't know how long ago it was that he made that video, but one of the first things I heard is, and I didn't understand it. It took me like more than 10 years to understand the most simple sentence. The name of the thing is not the same as the thing named. Bing! Me, the creation of God, on the 7th, I came in. Him, the Enlegius, the way I can do commerce and so forth, he came in on the 13th when they executed the document. So we can't be the same person, can we? Okay, so they set up a trust and all this kind of stuff. And when I was 5, they got me to get a social security number. I was 5 years old. I had no idea that I'd be waiving my unalienable God-given rights. I probably couldn't even say that when I was 5. So that contract is voidable. But I didn't void the contract because I didn't know I needed to void it, because I didn't know it fucking existed. I thought I was an American. But then recently I've noticed that that doesn't say United States of America Marines, because the United States of America has no standing army. The United States Corporation does, though. Well, we like to think it is, best one on earth. But there seems to be some debate over whether our weapons are up to snuff. And then there's the adult fairy tale where they believe that these others, aliens, won't let us have a nuclear war. I don't want to test that theory, personally. So that was yet another issue, because they were trying to provoke a nuclear war. Everything's already, like, Hamas is like, okay. Because, see, sometimes it pays to have a crazy, I'm sorry, I'm choking on my own vomit, to have a crazy person in charge of the military, where the other guys know that, yeah, he might just fucking bomb the fuck out of us. He made a threat to the head of the people in Afghanistan. They like to wear turbans and call themselves Taliban. Or he basically just showed the leader a picture of his house. Okay, they know we can hit anything, anywhere, anytime. And that includes us, by the way. The corporation has heretofore done everything over there, but that doesn't mean they couldn't start doing things over here. Also, they kind of sort of let it slip that any of these devices can be programmed to blow up. But they wouldn't do that here. They'd only do that to those silly Palestinian terrorist people. Okay. I'm sure that's true. I'm sure they would never, ever like trick you guys into doing something like that that could be potentially harmful. And certainly, they would tell you that stuff like this is bad for you. Okay, wait, I'm reading. Sorry. Like I said, just drunk on liberal tears. This video is for entertainment purposes only. All right, so let's go. Now that he has won, he who shall remain nameless, I suppose I will more extensively let you know where I'm at on this whole thing. This is BJ, our buddy BJ Williams. I highly recommend his 2.0 course. And actually take the 1.0 course, the first one he did, and you might have to kind of sort of suffer through it, but you can see the lightning speed that this guy I mean, what he's done took me years and years, because you fall down rabbit holes and you get led astray, and they test your discernment, and they test you and they test you. Right now, they're trying to tell me that it was a bad idea to rescind my U.S. citizenship, and I disagree. I don't want anything to do with that company. And what's going to happen now? This guy RFK, he's going to get rid of some corporations. We'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to my page and we'll play around and show you that, yeah, they got DUNS numbers and they're all for-profit corporations. They make a profit selling arms. They make a profit selling drugs. Anyway. Okay, I was a big MAGA guy back in 2020. I was not a big MAGA guy back in 2020. I was interested to see what would happen. I did not vote for him at all. Or anybody else back then, because I was already like, wait a second, my gut tells me something's wrong here. I may have been fooled for like 40 years. Okay, anyway, I posted nothing but Trump stuff. I had the hats. I had a hat. In fact, there's a hat around here someplace, because back and forth on our way to court, oftentimes on a Friday, I had never seen anything like it on Maui. Maui, this is Democrat land. You can't get into office on Maui if you don't have the D. You got to be able to take the D. And if you don't take the D, you ain't getting in office. Okay, so driving by the local shopping center, Ka'ahumanu Center, there's like hundreds of people waving Trump signs, and they got flags, and they got a DJ, and they're dancing around, and there's hot chicks there. And when we drove by, my son's like, hey, let's stop. It looks like a party. And I was like, okay, let's stop. And anyway, got some merchandise and so on. But I mean, I've never seen anything like it. And then the other guys, right? The Biden people, there's like 4 of them, and they're angry as fuck and swearing and so forth. And we had some tutus go over, and these like old Hawaiian women, tutu. And they almost assaulted them. But they went over there to talk to them nicely, because they wanted to tell them why they were for Trump and so on. And anyway, and it's across Ka'ahumanu Center, or Ka'ahumanu Avenue. It's 6 lanes. And we were watching from this side, and okay, that was the wrong thing. You don't know where you are, right? And they were all, let's say, haoles, white boys and girls. And there are only like 5 or 6 of them. But getting fresh and in your face and touching one of the Hawaiian elders, don't do that. Just don't do that. And actually, the police came in and separated. I actually give the cops respect on that one, because they separated everything out. Because, yeah, these guys were about to get killed. Utter disrespect. Anyhow, the party on the other side was still going, though. And like I said, we wound up with some Trump material, because my boy thought it would be funny. It was kind of a joke, because even back then I was pretty much. And then came the COVID thing. Oof, shouldn't have said that out. It's the liberal tears. Oh my God. So you don't have to worry, they're going to take this video down. Really, that's another thing. One more thing. How are these guys operating on the North American continent where we're supposed to have free speech? How are they being licensed? If the corporation is supposed to uphold our rights, and one of those rights that's right there, even in their constitution, because there's two of those things. There's one for United States of America, and then there's the United States Constitution. Sounds similar, but not the same. Anyway, the one that we're under, or would have been under if you or are under if you decided to play the game, that one has a First Amendment in it also. So pulling the license of a company that's licensed to operate on the North American continent by the United States corporation shouldn't even be a thing. Oh, you're a private corporation. No, you're not. Oh, hell no, you're not. You have a license to operate. Do you have a business license or not? Don't give me that. You're not on the private side. On the private side, I don't need a license. I am free to contract. And again, when it comes to the issue that we don't want to talk about because it's so contentious, if I'm on the private side, I have the unlimited right to contract. And if there's another man who's a doctor who's willing to contract with me to remove the child, I don't have that issue because I'm mankind, but I'm one of the men. Then there's the man with a womb. We call them womb mans because they have wombs. And if that womb man wants to contract in the private with a doctor, the corporation got nothing to say about it, except for the part that she may have told them that she waived those unalienable rights to contract in favor of privileges and benefits and insurances, so the corporation might help her pay for the procedure. Who other than demons? Again, and speaking of that, I'm on a roll, or not. Wow. See, that's why I don't look over here, because if I look over here, I get totally distracted. Okay. Oh, see, and you can see that. You can see them. You can see them. Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm coming back to this. Right? Focus, bro. Okay. I posted nothing but Trump stuff. And he had the hats. I got the hats. Okay. Did I know that I was impersonating a U.S. citizen back then? Violating, write it down. 18 U.S.C., but you should be able to remember it. 18 U.S.C. 9/11. 9/11. Emergency. You have waived your rights because you're impersonating, because fraud. Right? Just like me, I had no clue. See, when I figured out I was on the wrong team way back in like 1990 or so, because I was like the youngest guy on Maui in this one company to ever reach the level of regional vice president. We sold insurance, we sold stocks and mutual funds, anyway, and that's insurance and all of that. Those are privileges. And see, I had to have a license to sell that stuff. Couldn't just sell it to you, right? And if I violated those licenses, because I could make a commission doing it, if I violated those the rules and regulations with regard to those licenses, they could pull my license. So that was supposed to keep us from defrauding you. But then I figured out the whole thing was, even though I was trying to be in honor, the whole thing is fraud. The whole thing is fraud. Anyway, and so I quit. And I was making pretty good money. It was, and because I knew a lot of wealthy people on Maui, because there's a lot of money on Maui, and a lot of equity in houses. And we'll skip that. But anyway, the idea is that the whole thing is fraud. You don't know that you're impersonating a U.S. citizen. You think that this is your address. Well, technically, because the address here, what the hell is the zip code? The zip code here is My vision has gone away, but actually it's because of that light right there, the glare. 85018. That's someplace in this place called DC. You think it's here in Arizona on the land, but in their world of fiction where your in Legis lives, that's DC. So you're a resident of state of Arizona, because that's where this is in Phoenix. Maricopa County, no, it's the county of Maricopa, but they do business as Maricopa County. But Maricopa County is the de jure, is the land. But this guy's over here, man, like they the most corrupt. I've never seen corrupt. Well, actually, that's not true. Hawaii, it's neck and neck, and then I understand Jersey, but I've never been to Jersey, so I can't tell you. But I've heard guys from Jersey that came out to do some auditing in Hawaii, and they said that compared to Jersey, I mean, Jersey was a cakewalk, was up and up compared to Hawaii. Anyway, the point being is that you're not considered to be in Hawaii. You're considered to be in DC, a resident of DC. And what you actually are is a non-resident, and you are alien to DC. That is the city. That is the corporation, the Triple Crown. That is their stakehold on the North American continent, 10 square miles in DC. And from there, their tentacles go everywhere using that zip code system. And then every time you step across the bar, you're stepping into DC in their imaginary world. Just like that story I told you about my Mexican girlfriend. When we stepped into the embassy, we weren't stepping onto American soil. We were stepping onto U.S. soil. And there were U.S. Marines, not USA Marines. So what you do is you give your children onto the altar of war for the United States corporation. And the United States corporation has citizens. And see, now we got to talk about that. Those citizens, the word is synonymous with employee, which is synonymous with slave. The peculiar institution, again, rears its ugly head because you have surrendered your unalienable rights to become a 14th Amendment citizen. And it says right in there, well, we don't do involuntary servitude unless it's for punishment for a crime. So what do? They make fucking growing vegetables crimes. Look, I'm not going to talk. Get upset. They make raw milk a crime. They demonize raw milk. Who but demons would demonize raw milk? They demonize a plant that is absolutely medicinal. 1,001 uses. Who other than demons would demonize a plant? This is something that the same one that gave me my unalienable rights gave that a place here on the earth. Of course, because you don't believe it's any kind of creator. It was just an accident. We're all just accidents. Study this thing. Even Darwin said no can, because no can, no can. If no can, no can. And there is no way that from a single cell to this complex structure by permutations, random permutations, that this thing just evolved from a single cell. Not possible. Learn some fucking math. Not possible. And that which is impossible is impossible. Okay, got sidetracked again. Let us continue on. So the idea is you impersonate a U.S. citizen. You ain't no resident of one of the 50 states. You don't reside in one of the 50 states. State ofs. The difference between Arizona State and State of Arizona University. or University of Arizona, right? Those are two different entities, two completely different things. And it's fraud. They defrauded you. Again, you were being defrauded. You thought that you were that all caps name. You thought that you were being a good American. No, you were being a U.S. citizen. Can get bank account if you're not a U.S. citizen. Can get driver's license without. Well, that's not true anymore. They'll freaking give them to the illegals. Can get a driver's license without being a citizen. And I remember coming across the border one time from Canada where I said, and this was way back when our driver's licenses from Hawaii freaking had our social security numbers blazoned across the front of them. And they changed that because your driver's license number and your social security number was the same because the way they set up their computers and so forth. Anyway, there was a big fight over that and they changed that. So now there's a driver's license number and then your social security number is your own. But anyway, I showed her my driver's license because I didn't have a passport. And I don't remember how I got across the other way, but I was coming back home. And I said, it's a United States, it's a driver's license from America. And she goes, all that tells me is that you're licensed to drive in Hawaii. That doesn't tell me that you're a citizen. I went, oh, well, right on top of here, that's my social security number. And and she said, as a Canadian, she was a snarky, anyway, that you have a contract for benefits with a private corporation. That doesn't tell me that you're a United States citizen. And I just went, what? I was early 20s at the time. I was just like, what did you just say to me? That those two things don't make me an American? No, they do not make me an American. And what she wanted to know was, and finally I was like, where were you born? Because that was part of the driver's license. And I said, Chicago. Oh, actually, wait a minute. That's not how that went. They were letting me walk away. And then they go, oh, one more thing, like fucking Columbo. Where were you born? And I was like, Chicago. If I would have hesitated, I would have been detained. And there was another time we were coming across the border where everybody that had was me and my friend who was white and me being me. And they told him to go this way and him to go that way and me to go that way. And he was like, nah, I think I'll stay with my friend. And so we go to this room and yep, everybody in there's got brown skin except for him. And he goes, yeah, I kind of thought that this is what it was going to be. Anyway, we had to fill out some extra paperwork. Like, how long are you planning on staying here? You're going to go home, right? You're not going to come back. Your brown skinned person isn't going to stay in our country, is it? And I'm like, no, I'm an American. And I was a dumbass because no, I wasn't. I was a U.S. citizen and all my fucking paperwork said I was a U.S. citizen and my fucking passport said I was a U.S. citizen. It was a different time. And I used to go back and forth to Canada all the time because up in North Idaho. Anyway, okay. So, okay. Where do I stand on things? Well, I have a lot of mixed emotions about things because I try so hard to look at everything through the eyes knowing that everyone has two options: non-citizen national of the United States, in accordance with, you know what I can do? Oh, I just do that. Oh, that makes life easier. In accordance with 8 USC, and this is the easy one, 11.0.11. Whoa, that's too many of them there. He didn't put the comma in, but it's 101A, 22B, or a U.S. citizen under 8 USC 101. There you go, right? 1101 at A 22A. What number, Pookie? Yeah, 22. Okay, just lets me know I'm in the right place. We're playing this game, and I got in touch with the guy that's playing this avatar, and we made an agreement. Anyway, a U.S. citizen has the privilege to have or carry firearms. A non-citizen national has the right to bear arms. One under the United States Constitution, the other under the Constitution for the United States of America. Okay. I hear things like Trump has already taken down the corporation and has returned us to the republic. Have you heard that? Okay, so if that was true, then we could have no 14th Amendment or Federal Reserve notes, right? There couldn't be the 14th Amendment. The 14th Amendment would be out the door and you wouldn't be registering to vote and stuff because you wouldn't be just voting, you'd be electing because you were being polled. That's all you were doing. They were polling you so that the electors, the guys that actually put the president in, know how to vote. And they tell you they don't have to necessarily vote the way you want them to. Okay. So, and then the other thing is, are we still using Federal Reserve notes? Oh, and by the way, oh shoot, I don't have any. Or I don't think I have any on me. But anyway, did you notice your Federal Reserve notes, 2017? Did you notice? Did you guys notice? Somebody typed that in one of the chats. But wow, too much going on over here. I'm going to go back over here. You guys are having your own conversations. Anyway, which is good. Let this be a gathering place. But the idea being is that you wouldn't have Federal Reserve notes either. And it seems that they haven't been printing Federal Reserve notes because every time I've been going through bills, 2017, that's it. There's no 2023s, there's no 24s, there's certainly no 21s or 20s. It's always 17. No 19s. Look at your money. Look at the print on your money. Right under, they're doing stuff. They don't have to tell us slaves. Okay, so obviously that can't possibly be true. Sure, maybe he closed the corporation, but you realize that you can simply replace a corporation with another corporation in about 0.1 seconds. It's the easiest thing in the world. Do I think he's the worst guy in the world? No, I really don't. Okay, and I agree with that. I don't think he's still evil, but lesser of two evils. And the other one, that was just ridiculous. To me, in my personal opinion, what they did was they made them as horrifying as possible to get you guys to make a choice. That's a true statement. And see, this guy, okay, it's just the liberal tears talking. Nino, you figured it out. That guy, Nino Rodriguez, I watched him do it. I was watching one of his vids and he figured out, and the way he did it, because he looks at the world through the paradigm that he was, a world champion in boxing, is that, it seems that the Miracle Ear dude, and how come we didn't get a close-up of his ear? How come we didn't get a surgical close-up of his ear? Right? I demand a surgical close-up of his ear, and I get banned from SGT Report. So screw you, Sean, and your free speech too. But anyway, Nino figures it out. He figures out that this guy and that guy, Conscious Wig and Cotton Wig, Harris over here, and oh man, was this a total abortion? And the Miracle Ear over here, it's one cult. It's two sides of the cult. The cult is designed to get you guys to fight with each other so that you don't look at the guys that are controlling these two guys down here. Am I making sense to you? And Nino figured it out. But he's in for a penny, in for a pound. So he was on the side telling you that, oh, you better get your survival food, and you better get ready for the power to go out, and you better be ready for 10 days of darkness, and those freaking Venezuelans are going to take over your apartment complex. And on the other side, they were hearing, those insane Trumpers, if she wins, they're so racist and misogynistic that they would never bow down to a black woman. Candace Owens might have a few things to say about how black that woman is. All right, I am like Obama. My mommy was white as snow, and my dad was black, and a little bit of Cherokee in there. Like I said, probably as much. Right? And that's what they try to do to you. They try to dilute you down. Anyway, so I grew up in Hawaii. I grew up in fucking paradise. Like paradise. 70 to 90 all year round. You saw all the videos that I made, right? As compared to this place, where now first it was too fucking hot, and now it's too fucking cold. Paradise. Walk out the door, Beach is right there. And if it's not right there, it's a half hour away. Paradise. I grew up in Paradise. I didn't grow up in no hood. I didn't know hood. I don't know, right? Our worst place on Maui is called Happy Valley. And there is some hood rats in there. But I mean, it's what do you call it? Government housing. But the idea being is Obama, he wouldn't know, right? I don't know where he got that accent. He grew up first in Indonesia, and then, no, I know for a fact, he grew up on Oahu and went to Punahou, my sister's school. Many of the students that went to my school, a private slave school, went to that private slave school, and vice versa. So we knew, and he was only a couple years ahead of me. In fact, I think what same class as I don't know what. Anyway, a couple years ahead, like because it wasn't Shelley, it was the other one. Anyway, because one of my friend's sisters was classmates with him, and she kind of had a crush on him, except for the fact that he was a little, if you know what I mean, and everybody knew it. Anyway, and he grew up in he wasn't right. Okay, and we can talk about the fact that I met a whole bunch of Kenyans who were very proud of the fact that Barry was born there, according to them. Now, they could be misinformed, but there seems to be quite a bit of evidence. Okay, so he's black, like I'm black, but he doesn't even have the, I have lineage. Let's see, me, look, one hand, me, my father, born free. Sorry, but you know what I mean. We weren't actual slaves with actual contracts in involuntary servitude. So this was voluntary servitude, and he was fooled, and I was fooled until I was like 57 or so. Okay. Then his father. Okay, so here, this is in Illinois. This is in New York. This is in Alabama. In Alabama was the plantation known as the Rogers Plantation. This was the son of a slave. This one was Hosea. And that was it. That was because he was a slave. He had a name, and his name was Hosea. So he left the plantation when he was emancipated, and most of them didn't know what to do with themselves, literally. So they were re-enslaved very easily. But anyway, so he took the name Rogers because of that plantation. On the other side, the same thing. You don't have to go back. You go back. My boys, their mother, her father, his mother, her mother, bam, now we're back in slavery times. They had a slight generation because they were born younger and we were born further apart. Like I didn't have my boys until I was 40. Same thing. My dad was, I don't remember. He was old though by the time I came around. Or not old, but he was also like, he was like 45 or something like that. And so the generations are spread out further. And on the other side, they're closer together because like they were having babies when they were in their 20s. Anyway, they were born on the Boone plantation. Daniel Boone was a man. He was a big man who owned slaves in Virginia. And so they took the name Boone. Anyway, we are what's considered Black Americans. I've had people cross the street to call me a nigger. Right? People saying I ain't got nigger rights. Fuck you, I got nigger rights. Absolutely. I am a direct descendant of those who were enslaved on plantations on the North American continent. Mr. Obama no can't say the same thing, and fucking Kamala cannot say the same thing either. And then for them to try to tell us that we were supposed to accept this woman, and there are a bunch of you that did. Insulting beyond my ability to spell it out in mere English words. I feel like that little autistic girl. How dare you? And then she's going to run on their ability to kill children right up until the day of birth as their primary issue. We're going to forget about the fact that 325,000 right that way, not too far that way, there's a border, and many of them come across it. And they're gone. And even if you got them back, you wouldn't want them back. Is how fucking sick this thing is. 325,000. And that's probably a low estimate. And if you like know the truth, that's the sacrifice for us getting our prosperity back. Now, you don't want to hear that. But there is one who is in charge, and they demand his minions bring human sacrifice, blood sacrifice. Like I said, for entertainment purposes, I'm just drunk on liberal tears. I'm just talking. I'm talking out my ass. I mean, that's just crazy talk. That's conspiracy theory. The CIA told you to say that when somebody says like something like that, just call it conspiracy theory so you can get on with your day. All right. So, and people say, did you see that UCC1 filing? Yes, I saw the UCC1 filing. Right. That was supposedly from his team. Yeah, you got to go look at that thing, actually. Okay. So I live in the AI world now. Fuck if I know what's real and what's not. You show me a document or a video, and if I can't go get, if I can't go on some Secretary of State website or some shit and verify it, it might as well be bots. I'm sorry. There you go. A lot of these documents. Got to use your discernment. Do some research. Is that thing for real? Do they actually have a one of these things? I should change page. Well, yeah, let's do that. So I'm sharing that one. We'll come back to this in a second. Look, I saw a squirrel. And we'll go over here. And then we'll go over here again. Thanks for likes. And we'll go right there. I've shown you this before. And look, they changed their website and now it's purple. Because why? Because Barney the dinosaur. Clean up, everybody clean up. And the way you're going to clean up is learn some fucking law, and you have to learn what the words mean. Because if you don't know what the words mean, you can't win the word game. And if you don't understand a little bit of grammar, you can't get through the grammar fair. And if you don't understand some basic principles of common law, and the fact that there's only common law, equity, and admiralty, that's it. And you might want to learn a little bit about the admiralty out of this book right here, Clerk's Praxis. You're going to have a bad time because they can't do it all. So we got to help clean up too. So you got to learn how to press claims and get together and get juries together, grand juries, and repopulate the republic. Otherwise, it's the corporation forever. We got like 3 years. They're going to throw a big party in 3 years. Because what happens in 3 years? Oh, yeah. It's going to be, 3.5 years, a little more than that. 28. What is that? That's 250 years. And in 250 years, in 3 years from now, we need to get some stuff set up so that we can retake and actually have a country. Right toward the end of Miracle Ears. What a coinky dink. All right, hold on. I'm going to be right back. All right, we're going to take a brief pause because all those liberal tears, see, you don't buy beer, you rent beer. You don't really get liberal tears, you just rent liberal tears. So I'll be right back. Play some intermission music. Are you having fun? Oh, the pause that refreshes. Should I get some more liberal cheers? It's making me punchy, man. It's making me punchy. It's okay. I'm pretty confident this one's not staying up for long. No was me. If the thing calm down, no was me. Oh, delicious, delicious liberal tears. Oh, so tasty. Oh, might as well bring the decanter. Why not? Oh, so good. Actually, it's not really liberal tears. The liberal tears are being served up on X and YouTube and what is it? TikTok. Oh my God, these people are mentally unstable. They really are. Okay. So, can you remember this? Look, it's 5 USC. Let's make sure I'm sharing correctly. Yes, I am. What do you know? Look at me using technology. That's a pap. Okay, 5 USC. Look. Oh, look. 3, 3, 3, 1. Or if you go backwards, 3, 3, 3. What is? We'll leave it there. But so that should be easy to remember. USC, right? The oaths of office. So 3, 3, 1. And you know what else, right? No consideration. That's called the anti-bribery statement. 3, 3, 3, 2. That's what was missing on the oaths of that was supposed to be oaths of office, but if they don't have the anti-bribery statement. And then look, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. So just remember 5 and then 3s. 4 of them. Employee affidavit, loyalty, and striking against the government. If you're going to work for the government, we're going to pay you. You can't be striking against the government. That seems pretty simple, right? And by government, they mean United States Corporation. So you won't strike against the United States Corporation. Otherwise, and this is an oath. So if you, and see, Masons take their oaths very seriously. And that's the other thing. It's again, sorry, it's the tears. Oh, so good. Ted's not going to watch this, but if somebody that does watch Ted pointed out to him that he apparently had to stop at 26 because they had, I'm pretty confident they were throwing some humiliation rituals at him. And he said, nah, I'm not doing that, to his credit. Because I'm telling you what, at 26, it starts getting cool after 26. But if that's the case, that means that those are pikers. Literally, those are pikers. Baphomet. Your lodge was infiltrated by the naughty guys. Because you can, believe it or not, get to 33 without you can go the right-hand path or the left-hand path. At some point, you have to choose. I would choose the one that nurtures children, not the one that harms them. But that's your thing. And see, if you choose poorly, no issue. It's a loving God. You'll just be on a train that you probably don't want to be on, and you won't even know you're there for another 25,920 years. That's 72 360s. Anyway, it's you're just going to be on the merry-go-round for a while. And see, if you chose poorly with the option of really the guy that put tampons in men's rooms, and that guy was just, what was the word that they gave us? Weird. He was weird. That dude was weird. He was a weird dude. By anybody's standard, I don't care. Not even by their standards, that was kind of a weird dude. Yeah. Okay. So let's go over here and just say, find out about this. Guess what? All the guys over here in Arizona, they no more valid oaths of office either. And right now, we'll get to that in just a second. We got some serious not mathing here in the county of Maricopa that does business as Maricopa County seems to be having an issue with their votes, but the whole state Let's go back over here for just a second. Let me finish reading this because it's so good. Because it is. I could have wrote this myself mostly. Right? I mean, I don't 100% agree, but overall, I could have wrote this. All right, so let's see. So he just basically says, if somebody stuck a 45 in my mouth and choose one, Trump or Kamala, of course I choose Trump. There's absolutely no doubt. And I am happy he was chosen to run the foreign business over Kamala. I really am. See, the foreign business, that's what it is. And what they've done is duped you into thinking that you're the same thing as the trader tax, and the trader business doesn't have unalienable rights. The trader business benefits and privileges and may be beholden to certain other private corporations. All right, so, but see, he's turned into a figurehead, and this is true, right? He's the tip of the spear. And what I'm going to do is give the guy the benefit of the doubt, because this time, if they only write strongly worded letters after all the shit that's gone down, when it comes to the trafficking of flesh and when it comes to the wars and so forth, he's got House and Senate and the White House and a majority of the governors. They got no fucking excuse for getting shit done. None. Right? Get Trey Gowdy up there. And she just sits there looking at him like, what are you going to do, bitch? Nothing. Nothing. You ain't going to do nothing, and you know it. And he did. He wrote a strongly worded letter, and she didn't go to jail. Nothing happened. They put on a great show. They may have pissed you off, which is great, because if they piss you off, their masters can feed on you. Let's see here. So a figurehead that is now peaceful in some ways and unpeaceful in others. He's going to say some things against the mighty leader, and all the people that wear the red hats get really upset when you say anything. So, for example, he would be able to sign. Would he be able to sign to be a Pickletarian? No, he would not. If you don't know what a Pickletarian is, you got to get over to Brandon's site and look at his ridiculousness. But you know, the Pickletarians, that's his nation. And see, he tells you what a nation is. You're the one that needs to know what the words mean. So he would not allow him to become a Pickletarian. He would have to meet with me and have some conversations first, and his application would be placed in a check back in a couple months bin. I'm sorry, guys, but if someone is not teaching you what a U.S. citizen is, I am. What a passport is, and what the 14th Amendment is, and what a negotiable instrument is, and what a license is, and what a promissory note is, then how can they be the leader of this country? They're not the leader of the country. They're the leader of the corporation. Yes, I realize that. Okay, stop right there, my Scientologist friend. I assure you, he knows all of this, and they all know all of this. He was raised in the billionaire world. He was not raised ignorant. We were. Okay, he may be there you go. He may be just as ignorant as every other barred card attorney, banker, etc. that we are all talking to. That may well be. But if that's the case, then how can he be your Messiah? Well, they're not calling him the Messiah. But what upsets me is if you make Trump your Messiah. Yeah, that would upset me too. But here's the thing, Brandon, they're not ignorant. They feign ignorance. They fucking know, and they pretend they don't know. You're going to find that out. They're always going to file a motion to dismiss. You figured that part out. And they're always going to tell you that you filed, your claim upon which they can grant relief, because they can't understand you, slave. That's going to be, and they understand you perfectly well. Not a Images, but they ain't telling you that. Kamala let it slip, unfortunately. Like, she was actually honest. Yeah, we couldn't afford to lose the slave labor. She said that fucking out loud. And black folks still voting for her because she black. Look at what Candace Owens had to say. She was from a slaver family that ran slaves because they came from India because there was money to be made in the slave trade. There always has been. There always will be. That trade, I hate to say it, is probably never going away. But there are some that are saying we're not using the United States corporation to do that anymore. And as you can imagine, those people that are involved in the trade are a little upset about that because it is a lucrative trade. It has always been a lucrative trade. And there are sick fucks all over the world that like little children for sex slaves. And the United States, up until quite recently, actually, that's not even true, up until today, is happy to provide those slaves right under our noses, going on right now. Every county. Okay. So that's what upsets me is when you refuse to talk about those kind of things. And what's an attorney? Those that attorney you? The corporation is set up to extract as much wealth from you as possible. They're going to send another $6 billion off before he even steps in the door. There's going to be an accounting though, or so I'm told. Because again, we got the dream team going on here. And if I wrote this in a book, you would laugh at me and tell me that that was ridiculous. But the Department of Government Efficiency. Awesome. Wait. Do I have one? I do. I bet you I have one in my pocket right now. Hold on. Hold the phone. Yes. Oh, look, and I actually have some script. Okay. See, can never be considered a pauper again because I have at least $2 with me at all times. They consider you a pauper, and that you need to be a ward of the state when they snatch you. Yes, I certainly do. There it is. Wait, I can see. Yeah, I'm down here in the corner, but that's a Dogecoin. Anyway, department. So it's going to be so government. Such efficiency. Brian, you can write this stuff. You can't write it. And just for fun. Oh, it's just a couple bucks. But let's see here. This is a $10 bill that was printed in 2017. What was I saying? And this is a $1 bill that was printed in 2017. And this is a older looking one, but no, it was printed in 2017. So that's just random money. And just so happens they're all the same year. I had a big stack and they were all 2017. They may have stopped just putting money out there. And this is how they crush us, by the way. Go read information on the lack of currency causing the Great Depression. Because people couldn't transact. Because that was the way they were made to transact. Because in 1933, they took the money out. Right? All the gold. So we haven't been able to use this stuff, which is, but I'll read you passages if you want me to, that says that these are worthless because they're just notes. The only thing that gives these things any kind of purchasing power is our belief. And so they're gonna throw some spells at you, and Trump's gonna make you believe that these are more valuable than they are. Watch it happen. The price of goods and services isn't gonna go down. They're gonna make you believe the currency is going up. And the way they're gonna do that is with some shenanigans with gold and silver. Okay. Fact checking. So let's see here. Go look there, and I'm not putting links down there because what I've found out and what I've been told is one of the ways they take down your videos is because you have links. Like if you have links to off the site and so forth. Because you notice now, if you click a link and it takes you off the site, it takes you to that screen first that says, "Are you sure you want to leave? Don't leave us, please. Why don't you scroll for a while and watch some meaningless videos for 6 hours? That would be better." Anyway, our friend Nino Rodriguez figured it out. So anyway, there all this is again. And again, we've got to clean things up. And one of the ways you clean things up is find out if they got oaths. And if they don't have oaths, then get rid of them and set up your own government. It's our prerogative. It's actually our duty. And the thing is sitting there empty for the most part. You can go over and watch. I have some issues, but Kirk's Law Corner talks about the various assemblies that are setting up and how you can set up your own grand juries and so forth. And so far, I think there's Alaska and Michigan. There needs to be more than Alaska and Michigan. Okay, so let's go over here and stop sharing that. And back over here and read some more of this. Oh, wait, but I have to go share screen again. Okay. There you go. All right. So let's see here. I mean, sure, if you're... It's typical Brandon. I mean, sure, if you're a sexy ass girl and you want to bring your friend over and have a whipped cream party or play Twister all night long, chances are I'm not going to complain. But the next day, I'm going to sit you both down and say, look, I'm not your guru. I'm not your God. My sexual fantasy is to see you operating as your own God. And to me, that is true beauty. And he's just enough of a nerd that I bet you that would actually probably be the case if a couple of hot chicks somehow managed to wind up in his living room. But let me tell you about the Constitution. Anyway, I think you need to be free. And see, then they'd be free to contract. Anyway, if you know what I mean. I think that what a true guru does, and that's what the Buddha does. I think that's what a true guru does, and that's what the Buddha did. But my point is that I don't just like people willingly donating their own power and abilities to another party because they don't see any better option. There you go. Because like I said, one side was told one thing and they believed it, and the other side was told another thing and they believed it. And the idea was that the corporation was going to get you guys to fight and kill each other. And what they tried to do was get these guys so pissed off and riled up that they'd pick up their guns and fight against the other Americans that happened to be wearing blue, without remembering that you're all freaking Americans under 1/10 in the United States corporation. It's two wings of the same cult. You're in one death cult. Your cult has been taken over by people that traffic flesh. Simple as that. The peculiar institution is alive and well in this realm. And the whole thing, if you want to get up a little higher, like I said, fuck you, Nino. I know you figured it out. This guy and this guy are being controlled by the same guys. The United States corporation is owned by bankers. Those bankers have names and addresses. You want things to change, you might go talk to those guys. But if you keep pulling levers and not understanding what the levers do, because when you pull the levers, you become part of the United States corporation. Am I making that clear? You surrender your American citizenship and become United States citizens. You're still Americans. You never quit being Americans, but you have voluntarily waived your rights via contract. And what they did was trick you into contracting. They tricked your mom into informing on you and signing a contract that is void ab initio, that created your in legis. That thing named and numbered your placenta, the thing that was attached to you. Go read the definitions. So they name and numbered that thing and then burned it. And so it's now a dead thing, but it was alive when it came out of the mother until they severed it. So immediately they do violence to you, because we found midwives understand now that you should leave the whole thing on there and let the blood drain in. It makes their immune system oh so much better. and let it fall off naturally, the way wild animals do. Not cut the thing. Anyway, you didn't claim it. And they set up this whole estate and they did everything for you. And since you didn't claim it, they're administering your estate for you. And since you've been silent and never claimed it, then what? Slave? It's on you, not them. Okay. So there is a better option. You are the president of your own world. This is absolutely true. And you are president of your own nation. See, and I have a little nation of my own. It's got like 5 members. And see, that nation can join with other nations and we can make a bigger nation and that nation can be a country. But anyway, start acting like it. So you got to educate yourself. You got to not stand mute when they send you letters. Oh no, it's the IRS. Oh, what do I do? If you open the letter, you're contracting right there. That's acceptance. That's implied acceptance. You open the letter. You're not supposed to open letters that aren't addressed to you. So it must have been addressed to you if you opened it, right? So one tactic that I used when I finally just got sick of them, because I had informed them that I'm non-decedent and all this other stuff, and they kept sending me letters, and sometimes they were sending me handwritten letters, and I just returned to sender. That's a dead person. Haven't heard from them since. But they know, and I've informed the FTC, and I read you the thing in the last one that was 2 hours and 22 minutes long with regard to the paperwork that I have that has been filed, and that's notice to the world. And see, one of the things I fantasize about doing, because, when I get drunk on liberal tears, is going to some meeting or another where there's a lot of people there and have 12 of them point to me and say, or whoever's speaking down there on the podium, 24 actually, sorry, not 12, 24, a grand jury, point to that man and say, there is a man standing there. Oh, now you have standing. A jury has recognized you as a man. That man stands over the corporations, the public servants. The public servants are there to serve the men and men with wounds. They're not there to boss you around. So that's not changing while he's in office. Okay. So again, I don't hate Trump. Would I do a show with him? Absolutely. That's never happening. Would I be respectful and enjoy interviewing him? Anybody would. The guy's quite the character. I used to be a DJ too, like an actual DJ, and I had all kind of characters in my studio. And Trump would be awesome because basically you just ask him a question and shut the fuck up. He's the best kind of thing. You don't have to goad him. You don't have to poke at him. You don't have to ask him leading questions. Just toss him a hard ball or a softball and he'll go on and he'll do the weave. And that's the best kind of, it's entertainment at the highest level. Anyway, of course, do I think he's a good dude? Yes, definitely. Okay. For me, the jury is still out. Like I said, remains to be seen. Let's see. Let's see how we perform or how he performs in the coming years. I absolutely believe that he's going to do quite a few of the things he says he's going to do. Why do I believe this? Because he was already president for 4 fucking years, and pretty much everything he said he was going to do while he was being attacked by all kind of rumors and lies and every kind of bullshit from the media, which is owned by people that do naughty things. They wanted to keep him from doing everything he wanted to do. And they did a pretty good job of it, but he still got all kind of stuff done. And anybody that was alive at the time knows that those 4 years were better than the previous 4 years that we just had. And that was on purpose. Again, they want to rule you. All they want is your consent. And when you sign the paperwork, you're consenting. So they didn't care. They wanted your consent. So they scared the one side and made them say, you better turn out. And see, what happened is they actually turned out for the other guy. Like, where is everybody? Yeah, they went and voted for the other guy. Go look at the numbers. Right? We had one anomaly. The last cycle in 25 million at least extra votes showed up out of no, well, they votes, no, ballots showed up. And then they flipped a few of Trump's vote and done. And we even have the algorithms. So, I mean, stop it. Okay. So, wait, I didn't get that far. Okay. I just don't like seeing you guys worship him or me or anybody else. That's even like with the math, how I just, the math guru. I'm no math guru. You are the guru. I am not the guru. I don't like anyone following my stuff, worshiping anyone. It upsets me. It brings a tear to my eye. It makes my hand shake. Reason being is we need autonomy. The future of our race is autonomy, which is the opposite of globalism. And that's exactly true. They're going to sell you one thing and give you another. Individual points of power cannot be controlled. Individual points of power cannot be easily used to leverage into other areas of power. Yes, it's decentralized, but that's a trite term. My point is, don't ever give up your power for any reason. Like I said, I could have wrote this. Never waive your rights, right? Never assume you can do something. There's that word, assume, never assume. And they're making all kinds of assumptions. And you saw they made 13 presumptions that I rebutted. So I didn't stand silent. I'm not silent anymore. So never assume you can do something. Never assume you can't change the world. Oh, excuse me. Never assume you can't do something. Never assume you can't change the world. Never assume you aren't the king of your nation. Never assume that you can't have a positive and lasting impact on the world. Never assume that you need to back someone else in order to have any real impact, like Trump. In other words, do it yourself. And even Trump was saying similar, was that, they can't do it alone. You guys got to stand up. Start taking your power back. Right? Learn about the paperwork. Get your stuff done. Get your proper IDs. Notice people. Get out from under the whore of Babylon. That's what that other book. I don't have it here. Oh, yes, I do. You got to be able to read the code, but this is your instruction manual for getting out from under the whore of Babylon. Start with the first one and then read the last one. And you should start having a clue. Let's see here. I'm sorry, but it's just not true. It's just not. People go from nothing to celebrity overnight in this world. Right? That's me. I've been working 10, 12 years now trying to become an overnight success. So you got to be ready for it when it comes. They can lose it all overnight too. Right? This isn't 1949. What happened in 1949? I just want more people in cocky, self-assured, action-centric, unshakable states of mind. And I think if Trump wanted that, he would be more vocal about it. But he's not telling you about American citizens and U.S. citizens. And if he did, he'd be using the word sovereign citizen in there too, I'm pretty sure, because he's the president or CEO of the corporation that doesn't want you not waiving your rights. He just did everything in his power to get you to waive his rights. He told you it was the most important election. He spilled the beans on a lot of the evil. And if you want to get that evil, you gotta waive your unalienable rights and become a U.S. citizen. You got to participate in the fraud. You got to tell them that you live in D.C. You got to tell them that you're a resident. Right? Which is the opposite of being a non-resident. And you got to tell them that you're domiciled or that you live in DC, not that you're alien to it. 28 USC 1746. 1, you are without the United States, not within the United States. I am on the land in a place called Phoenix in Maricopa County, the de jure Maricopa County, not the thing that the county of Maricopa is doing business as. That's see, even more they try to confuse you. And Maricopa County has departments underneath it. One is risk management, who you need to notify. Another is there are police departments, and they have policy enforcers that sell you statutes and bond you into statutes without your permission or consent or knowledge. And the way they do it is using your name, your signature, and your social security number. And then they tap into that trust that you never claimed and that they say isn't there, except there are bid bonds, payment bonds, and performance bonds. The first performance bond they write is the one they want you to sign on the side of the road. That's a performance bond. You agree to perform. What's the performance? That you're going to show up in court on the day it specifies. And when you show up, you are presumed guilty. Or you wouldn't have shown up. You would have handled it ahead of time using paperwork. And if that didn't work, then you, for fuck sure, better show up, because they're going to come with guns and clubs and take you away if you don't. Because it's de facto. It doesn't mean it's illegitimate. It means it's de facto. It means they can do this. They have absolute jurisdiction over the thing they created called the ins leges, out of fraud or not, until you tell them. A matter must be expressed, right? A matter must be heard. Wait a minute. A matter must be expressed to be heard. You don't express the matter. You don't express the trust. You don't express the fact that you are the beneficiary, not the trustee. You don't do any of that stuff. So it's implied that you're consenting. By registering to vote, you're supposed to know that when you register to vote, that you are a U.S. citizen. So you're swearing to the fact. You're supposed to know that. You don't know that. How come you don't know that? Well, because you went to slave school just like me. Okay, maybe he feels he needs to save the world. Oh, wait, back up one more. I want more people in cocky, self-assured, action-centric, unshakable states of mind. See, that's the thing, not to be double-minded, right? Single-minded. What they try to do is you try to tell them that you're, what's an example? That you are a sovereign and that you're outside of their jurisdiction, and then you file a motion inside their jurisdiction asking for permission for something instead of making a demand. Instead of complaining, you're a complainer. They stole the election. And I don't like it, the fact that they stole the election. And then you complained, and then they said, well, you didn't have standing to complain because you were complaining. You should have been pressing claims. And you should have been pressing claims not with affidavits, but with testimony in the form of an affidavit. Anyway, and I think if Trump wanted that, he would be more vocal about it, but he does not want you in an unshakable state of mind. He wants to chain your mind to the sky for the corporation so that they are, because they're conscious wigs, so that they can tax you, so that they can charge you for licenses, so that they can get you a marriage license, so that maybe you'll become a pharmacist and you'll get a license to sell drugs. Or maybe you'll become a broker like me and get a license to sell securities, and you'll pay them money. And why will you pay them? Because you're making money. So every year you can afford to pay them licenses, and then they'll write bonds on those licenses. And then let's see, you want to travel around. Okay, well, we'll sell that right back to you. And the license you're going to get is called a driver's license. And then every so often, at least here, you don't have to renew it. What is it, like 30 years here? She's not listening. Anyway, the idea is that you renew your licenses because you got money. Right? If you make more money, you'll pay more tax. So they want you prosperous. Trump is on the conscious wig side. But he wants you absolutely beholden to the police so they can control you, and assuming that you have a contract there. And he wants you to tell them that you are a U.S. citizen or an employee or an officer or a dependent, because that makes you property, a slave. Okay. So maybe he feels he needs to save the world. Okay, well, that assumes that everyone is an infant or a person of unsound mind. See, he's on it, this guy. Personally, I would rather die in a wood chipper than have someone else save me. If any of you guys expected me to save you, then I would deliberately throw you in a pit of boiling grease just to show others that you shouldn't do that. You really shouldn't. You really, really shouldn't. If you you have so much more power than you may think. And I wish more people saw that. Trump is a good dude. Just don't give him all your power and don't delegate your impact, please. As always, go fuck yourself. King Pickle, Brandon Joe Williams. Love this letter. Love him. I would be wary because, like I said, him is a high level guy in the Church of Scientology, but his course will empower you and get you asking questions and not lead you too far astray. And guess what? All these liberal tears have made it so I can really two breaks. That 100 monkey, he's so crazy. How come you don't answer? You get the license. How long is that license? How long is that license? The driver's license for Arizona. So like it's not like over in Hawaii where it's like every 4 years, every 5, whatever it is, every 6 years. But in Arizona it's like 30 years or something. Yeah, much longer. I was surprised. You know, in case I wanted to drive in the Uber or something. Hey, it's my buddy. Well, hi. Well, how you doing? He's gonna come and bother me now, I can tell. Okay. Oh, those liberal tears, they go right through, I'm telling you. Actually, what this is yerba mate, jarogalan, moringa, minerals, some 10-in-1 mushroom pulverized powder, and some honey and maple syrup. It's delicious and nutrient dense, good for you. Should help you from getting cancer. Okay. Hey, it's Time Bar. How you doing? Are you still there? Let's see here. Let's do starting that. Oh, hello. And then let's go over here just for fun. And let's not be here. That's Krutana Mon's House of Math. Let's go here. Oops. And then look, I can almost navigate. And then let's go here. Let's see if there's any fun stuff. Oh, so yeah, I gotta go get some pictures of this. Oh, I'm not sharing screen yet. Let's do that. Okay. So now I want to choose a tab again, and I'm gonna do. Let's head on over to my site. Okay. So in Ventura County, there's wildfires caused by climate change, just like Lahaina, except they only seem to be hitting like mansions and only certain mansions. And I was going to get pictures of that, and I didn't go get them before I did the thing. But you can go find it. And it's very hard to find aerial photographs, by the way. But you'll see mansion here, burned to the ground, ashes. Everything's fine in between. Mansion over here, burned to the ground, ashes. And I mean, they're all over the place. Who's living at those addresses would be the first thing I want to know. If you have friend or family in Ventura County that could get some boots on the ground and find out who was living in some of those places, that'd be interesting to know. Oh, look at that. Red. They tell you what they're wearing. This is an old code. So when Melania is wearing her garb, she's sending a message every single time that she's shown in public. Oh, there's my boys. I can show them happily now because they're both over the age of 18. How about this? How about that? That would be something. Well, the first time I saw that, that made me laugh. And then, of course, there's this. That's them all day today. Like I said, just providing comedy gold over and over. You go over to X, and I mean, it just doesn't get any better. And then, oh, look. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. Let's look at this. Okay, so look. And then all of a sudden it's right. Oh wait, so there's more voters than normal, and then it goes right back to where we were. And this is like an extra good turnout because there was an extra million people that showed up. Nothing to see here, folks. And then, yeah, they want to give these guys even more immunity. That's your Lady of Grace, Dawn Van Gogh. And this one just made me laugh out loud, so I had to post it. You can see this okay, right, Pookie? I assume so. Okay. And there's the blue wave. Okay. Now, if you look around in a lot of places, they're still showing this number, but the actual number was 312. So even there, they're trying to put it down. Now here, oh, look, grammar fair and word fair, right? Republicans put together a dream team. Democrats put together a nightmare, right? Democrats put together a nightmare. Do you see what I did there? Okay. Yeah. And then there's that. Don't worry, we're going to get there. And then that was, obligatory. And so it was this. Really, they thought that they were going to be Trump, Vance, RFK, Tulsi, Elon, Vivek, Ron Paul. Who else did they get behind them? Numerous people in the media that were like huge, like Joe Rogan, Tucker Carlson, all these luminaries from the right, and they were going to somehow beat them. And now we see that we really are the alternate media, because a lot of these guys, certainly not me, but a lot of these guys have greater, multiple times the audience that CNN and some of these other guys have. And there you go. Like I said, read the first book, read the last book. What's that one say? It says basically this, that you got fooled by their pharmakia. What's pharmakia? It's not medicine. All right, this is where I want to go. Let's talk about these guys. Oh, they hate it when you talk about them, but I'm going to talk about them anyway. Let's see here. We'll keep it brief. We'll go over this shortly. Because people have a hard time putting two and two together, I'm going to put two and two together for you. What we have there is the conscious Whigs, the Democrats, and the cotton Whigs, who are the Democrats, and the conscious Whigs, who are the Republicans. All right. So what you're looking at is old factions that go back literally thousands of years are beefing with each other. And the way these persons beef with each other is through their corporate personages called corporations. And one of those corporations that they own as part of the military arm of this huge and tremendous corporation called, here, we'll find that and just show you quickly. You don't want to see photos of those. You want to see these. All right, we're going to come over here and take a look at these in just a second. But whose flag is that? Again, what flag is that? Is that the American? No, that's the U.S. flag. The battle flag, right? The captured battle flag. Right there, it tells you with the gold fringe flying at an angle. This is a captured flag. We had a little war in 1860s. The North considers itself won, but it didn't wind up taking the thing back because the Southern states wouldn't come back. So they set up this other corporation called United States and captured this flag and used it as their symbol. Go look at 4 USC and discover yourself some flag law, and then go look at 10 USC because we're under martial law. The corporation does the bidding of the Admiralty. They're administering the estate. But if they get out of line, it's the Admiralty that's supposed to take care of it if the people can't take care of it. And they are usurping our power. And all those attorneys who wear their tiny hats work for the crown. What corporation am I talking about? Let's see here. Here's what I'm doing for some of you right there. Yeah. This was getting sprayed We'll talk about that another day. There is our flag. There, see that? That's the one. That's the one you want. When you fly that other flag, you are giving the corporation permission to search your house. You're giving everyone notice that you're considered to be at the zip code. You're putting a flag up over your property, and that flag says that that's U.S. soil. You have traded it American soil for U.S. soil. Now, let's look at this while we're here, since I'm here. Look, these are all private for-profit corporations with DUNS numbers. This one went defunct, I'm pretty sure. This one went under, and there's a new one there. But the Department of Defense, a for-profit corporation, they sell war. They fund both sides. When you fund both sides, you make more money. Well, more funds. There is no money. You make more currency. Every bullet costs money. And see, what's going to happen is the price of silver is about to go through the moon, and they won't be able to build armaments. Well, further, the other way they're supposed to be taking it down is they're going to make energy super cheap, so that all these guys that were making a profit taking oil out of the ground won't be able to prosecute wars because they won't have the funds to do it. You see how this is all going to work out? Okay, it's the private corporate. Department of Justice, also a corporation in the service of the crown, administering the estate for the king. And then he gives his due to the Pope. Department of State, private corporation. Health and Human Services is probably going to go away. They're going to shut this corporation down. Department of Education, probably going to go away. They're going to shut this corporation down. That one's going to stay, which tells you that he might not be your friend after all. Let's see here. Oh, look, private corporate. Oh, look, that one. That all these one veterans of course they make money administering the slaves that went to war. Are these guys going away, or are they going to stay? Capturing our ports. I think they're still going to be there. Oh, look, these guys. We've have you heard of these guys? Private corporation for profit. All these guys. Okay, a lot of them are going away. But I mean, fact check me. There's corporations there. They're all subsidiaries of the United States corporation. Let's see here. Oh, we're getting close. Oh, wait, what's this say? Yeah, that's what that says. But not if nobody enforces it. And then here, we'll just take a look at this real quick, and that's a completely different story. Is that the same guy? See, here's the problem. I'll tell you what the problem is. I'm sorry, but this is a somewhat racist nation, as my son just found out coming back from Montana. And to you, all us niggas look alike. That's why Kamala could get away with calling herself black, because you guys can't tell us apart, apparently. But any of us can look at her. I can look at her. All I got to do is see her face and see that ain't one of us. That's an Indian. That ain't an African. This is an African. Except there's 3 Africans there, not 1. For fuck's sake, people. Wow, this is crazy. It's a liberal tears, I'm telling you. Just crazy conspiracy theory, I know. What's that? What's this? That's just conspiracy theory. That's conspiracy theory. Over there, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, he told you about it. Hunter Thompson mentioned it and told the truth that that is the most expensive. Wow, do I not have the nation of the city here? There it is. Good God. That took a while. Okay. Of the city, that is 3 different things. The Vatican, who set up the corporation called United States, the City of London, who handles the money and fixes the price of gold and silver, and the DC, which is them farming the North American continent for infants to join them so that they can prosecute wars. And you get to drive fancy machines and shoot all kinds of cool guns and drive heavy equipment that happens to, kill people, and get to go in cool boats that, planes land on them and everything, and go over there and kill innocent people. The Iraqis had nothing. They did nothing to us. The Libyans, they did nothing to us. And we smashed them with our military. Except it's not States military. Those are United States Navy ships. Those are not American Navy ships. It's not the same thing. You want it the same thing, and it's not. Okay, let's get back to where I was, which is this right here. Who is these guys? Who am I talking about? Oh, look, in this last election, Denmark really doesn't like Don Van Gogh at all. Who did they like? They liked the slaver. Why did they like the slaver? Perhaps because they're slavers. And see, I just put, why do they hate Trump? And why were they so balls Eddie? And do some of these guys in Denmark, do these families own media, the stakes in media corporations that broadcast in United States territories, otherwise known as the North American continent? Let's see here. This was back in the day with Hillary Clinton. And this is, these guys. Oh, look, there's Denmark again. They hated Trump. They loved the Clinton. They loved the Clinton. They don't like the Trump. Look at them. They don't like the Trump at all. We don't like the Trump. Why don't they like the Trump? No, and then look down here again. There's a different poll. And look, it's still Trump's way down here. Look, everybody else in there. Nope, they like the other guy, but they don't like Trump. How come they don't like Trump? Maybe you click that link and go find out. The Danes, and see these other guys. These guys over here. Look, that's did they show you their flag? Yeah, they tell you where they are. They hide. They don't hide. You're just ignorant. So anyway, these guys, the hospitalers, in the United States, what do they have? They have hotels. They also have hospitals. They just got done harvesting huge amounts from our hospitals. And they paid the doctors huge amounts when they killed patients using respirators. They did a certain protocol. They like $300,000 a patient. There was this fee schedule someplace. You can go look it up. So if they were able to pay that much, certainly they were making more than that per death. How are they making more than that per death? Well, because these old people have these trusts that they set up and never claimed. And they treated them like motherfuckers. And some of those guys, like myself, are worth billions from what I could tell. I'm not in the 100 millions. I'm in the billions. But GMEI utility is no longer available to us. And I should have took way more screenshots than I did. But I was in, it was crazy how many bonds there were. Anyway, what these guys did was pay them out of the bonds that they expect to get, because the family is ignorant and will not be claiming the estate of the deceased, will they? Because they don't know there's an estate to claim, because the whole fucking thing is based on fraud. These are now Masons. It's not the same guys, but it's the same guys. They get pissy when you talk about them too. Okay, and this is just one group. There's lots of different groups. There's Templars. Okay. Oh, and then what else? So they have these hotels. What do? They're empty hotels, which they emptied out because nobody was traveling because of the thing that I won't mention again because it'll get my video taken down, right? Because we don't have free speech. Like, fuck all y'all. Why are we putting up with this? And if that doesn't change, again, then you know that maybe he's not your friend, right? We have to have some private guy who is absolutely in the service of the Morning Star, wears the armor and everything, to buy Twitter and call it X. And if you flip the X, you'll get a symbol that you should recognize. Yeah, this is one of them crazy ones. Like I said, this is not going to be staying up there. But yeah, these guys are doing war. But see, we were providing them with the product that they seek. And see, this goes back to the olden days, the Dutch East India Company. Yeah, those guys, same guys. Anyway, so they put all the migrants up in the hotels, and where do they get the money to pay for the rooms? And they charge exorbitant rates, but it doesn't matter because it's all paid for from the coffers of the United States corporation, and they extracted that money through taxation. And not income tax, because none of that money goes for it. We're talking all your fees and tariffs and all the other stuff that makes the U.S. corporation insanely wealthy. And what you're going to find out here very shortly, the miracle that's about to happen is that the United States corporation takes in fuck tons of money every single day, but they spend more money than they take in. That's about to change. How are they going to change it? But right here, see that, which leads me. There's a method to my madness, which leads me to these guys, right? So we're gonna have wow, such Ponzi. So we're gonna have wow, such government. We're gonna have so efficient. So what is that? The Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. And what are they gonna do? They're gonna fold these corporations. And the people in those corporations don't want to lose their jobs, so they were a little bit against Trump, just a little bit. Oh, look, Amish kids are all dying of cancer and diabetes and autism. That's totally pants on fire because, 1 in 10,000 gets it, unlike 1 in 33 among the other population. And I'm only just going to read this. Or, no, I'm actually not even going to read it. You just look at that, because if I say it out loud, I get in trouble because I'm initiating. Yeah, anyway. That's something you should watch. Oh, look, the global warming. This is just like 2 hours in the car from here, not even north. Okay, so this is the next one. As I was saying before I interrupted myself, as I usually do, this guy right here is not going to be president. And if he was president, this would be one of the things on his plate. But now that he's not going to be president, this is the only thing on his plate. And oh my God, these people are in full panic mode, and it's the funnest thing. Now, who other than demons would demonize psychedelics? Who other than demons would demonize raw milk? One of the most pure things on the planet. Comes out of a cow's udders. Really good for you. Cholesterol, all kind of stuff. They try to tell you it's not. Stem cells. Where can you get stem cells? You flush them away every day. Peptides. You don't know enough about peptides. If you find out about peptides, you will find out that you don't have to have inflammation. And inflammation is the underlying cause of almost all disease. And psychedelics. Ooh, they don't want you waking up to anything that I'm telling you and finding out that I'm only talking down here on the secular level. There's this whole other spiritual journey that's got everything to do with this. And what's that he's talking about right there? You see, is he talking about being transequine? You want to be transequine? Can you even see that? Yes. Oh yeah, I'm down here in the corner. But yeah, you want to be transequine. You can't OD on this. You can just waste money. If you take too much of it, you're wasting money because there's a limit on how effective it is. Okay. So yeah, chelating compounds, like I have to run to the other room. I don't feel like doing it. And ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, all the different clean food, right? Okay. And not just sunshine, but sun gazing, where you actually stare at the sun. That's crazy talk. Don't do that because you go blind. But I stare at the sun often, and I have many witnesses that can tell you that, yes, I stare directly into the sun. I don't go blind. In fact, when I stare at the sun, I'm better. These poor people are unhinged. Like I just feel sorry for her. No, we don't hate you. You're going to be fine. But that's the idea, was to get them so lathered up that we actually started killing each other. That's the job of the corporation. They did it once before. They were trying to get it done this time. And lo and behold, both sides were wrong. Because you know what? Americans are, for the most part, too fucking peaceful. Takes energy to get out of the house and start beating on each other and shooting at each other. And neither side seems to have the energy. And we shouldn't. And see, we don't want to be shooting here. We don't. Oh, well, who's above you, Donnie? Who is that? Are there 13 families up there someplace that maybe chained us to the sky with their insane system? Perhaps there are. Perhaps we should focus on that. But before you focus on that, maybe you better fucking get your paperwork in order. And then quit giving them everything you do. Every time you move money, every single time, they take a little piece. Because you don't mind when they take a little piece. When you get upset is when you get in chains and stuff and they take all your labor. So they make you feel like you still keep your labor. But, 6 months out of the year, easily, if you're playing the United States taxation game, probably 6 months out of the year, you work 100% for the corporation. If you looked at it that way. But you don't do it that way. You only give like half or 30%. Every fucking hour you go to work, they take some. Or you can revoke your election and tell them, I was defrauded. I didn't realize that this was a voluntary system. I thought I had to pay these taxes, and I choose not to volunteer. It says right here in the code that I can do that. So when I took that form out and I had you do that W-4 because I'm a total dumbass and I went to slave school and I didn't realize that I could write exempt on there because I'm not a U.S. person. I'm actually an American. Here's the greatest story. My girlfriend from Mexico comes to United States. She's here on a visa. I think I told you that story, but 10-year visa. So she's here completely legally. But because she wasn't a U.S. citizen, when she tried to work on Maui, they said, we'll pay you under the table. We're not going to take taxes out. So the person that comes from Mexico, but everybody else is paying. What the fuck is wrong with you people? You're not supposed to be, because you also don't owe the tax. You're not getting paid under the table. You're not getting away with anything. You're telling them that I don't support the corporation. Oh, but now you're double-minded because you've got a driver's license and you've got a bank account and you've got a social security number that maybe some of you applied for. I didn't apply for mine. Like I said, it was given to me when I was 5, whether I wanted it or not. And it's not even mine, it's theirs. And I don't use it. And there's no contract there anyway, because do I have a consideration or a benefit? And did I understand that having a social security number was going to waive my rights? I did not understand. So that's not a valid contract. And further, it was made and entered into. It doesn't matter if I'm now 60. I was only 5 when the first thing was given. So it's a voidable contract. I was ignorant at the time, and I was ignorant for many, many years about that thing. But the only consideration, they fucking took money from me, and it's in a large account. I'm not going to fucking just get rid of that account. Why would I do that? That's leaving money on the table. So now what I have to do is contract with these guys to try to get them to give me my fucking money back. And it's been sitting there at interest for quite some time, because there was a time when I earned quite a bit of money. And they took a large portion of that to give to me in my retirement when I turned 65, except they're going to try and kill me before then. Just like how many they just killed in the last 4 years. That's crazy talk. That 100th monkey doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. You're right. I'm drunk on liberal tears. Again, this is for entertainment purposes only. Here's a blast from 4 years ago, because I wasn't fooled back then either. You know what? I hate Bernie Sanders. Fuck that guy. Fucking socialist asshole. Oh my God. Fuck him and his fucking beach houses too. But you know what? He won the fucking election. Oh, selection. Ballot. Poll. The poll that they took in the primaries on the Democratic side. He beat her handily and then folded like a fucking wet towel. Is that even a saying? That's not a saying. Anyway, but he folded like a lawn chair. There you go. But he won the fucking election. I'm not a socialist, but I can count. Now, if Our Lady of Grace had actually lost that one. And from what I understand, it was a landslide back then, too, even worse than it is now. And we'll talk about that in about 2 seconds. How about let's talk about it right now. What's that? Oh, look. Oh, what happened? Oh, what a miracle. And oh, look, did he have more rallies or less rallies? Did he have 4 years of rallies? Did he tell everybody that this was the most important election in the whole? Did the fucking Amish come out of the woodwork to vote for this guy? Right. So now we got Amish that have surrendered and given up their unalienable rights so they could be part of the corporation. And I guarantee you they didn't understand that. They thought they were voting in the American election. No, they were voting in the United States corporation. And then look what happened, because they didn't let them cheat. But they did suppress, because I guarantee you this line should be higher than that line. See, when you put information in a visual manner, it becomes more easy to understand. This is one of the beauties of the mathematics. Further, above all, the mathematics is predictive. So let's see, 1, 2, anomaly 3. And if you go back some more years, I think you'll find that it's pretty much about here. Like I said, suddenly all these ballots show up. This is not voters, this is ballots. And they tried to flip it even more. And when they couldn't flip it even more, they stopped the counting and dropped them off in the middle of the night, so that when you all woke up, oh, look. Oh, that's crazy talk. Those January 6ers, I can't believe they're protesting. We won fair and square. Look how fair we are. You motherfuckers crazy or what? Can you do math? It's me, right? Right? And then there's that one. And actually quite a few. For me, that's a lot, because this bag, but people come to my page to see what's going on. They may not hit like. A lot of people come and lurk. To include members of law enforcement, and I use the term loosely. And talking about silver, I'll get you some silver. You should have already been in silver. You should be sitting on the sidelines with Big Swear. Oh, wait a minute. Let me drink some more liberal tears. Fuck you, Bix. Where's my $600 silver? And again, Bix is always talking about, it ain't gonna be an election. Was there just an election? Did both sides fight with it? Nope. Did the one side concede? Oh, nobody's going to accept the results. Yes, they will. If elections mattered and voting mattered, they wouldn't let us do it. So there was, I bought it for a little while, and then I was like, yeah, there's going to be an election, because it doesn't fucking matter. You just voted. You didn't elect. And then this maybe, yeah. Some guy, they assassinated him. My father gave him a big fat check. See, I never met the man, but when I turned, I can't remember how old I was, like 16 or 17, my mother took me to a safe deposit box, and there was a manila folder in there. I wrote a paper that got me an A and a whole bunch of pizzas and stuff like that in a writing contest in Hawaii. And it was called My Father, the Manila Folder, because I never met the guy. But she had saved newspaper clippings and all this stuff. And one of the newspaper clippings is my dad standing there with Malcolm X's widow, presenting her with a large check that he had raised from the Black community in Chicago. And Malcolm X warned us about these people right here. And look, this ain't no little poll, right? This isn't 20 or 30 guys. That's how many guys right there? That's 121,000. People have kind of woken up to the fact. And these guys are the ones that are so complete, they can't figure out why they lost. It blows my mind. Anyway, the point was that this guy Bixwer is telling you now, and Nino Rodriguez telling, there's not going to be an election, and if there is an election and the other team wins, there's going to be chaos. Power's still on. Nope, don't hear any gunfire. That was my Cliff High impression. And Cliff High, fuck you too. Where's my $600 silver? And I want my flying car, damn it. And this is the thing. This is what they're going to do. Plan. I don't know how they're going to achieve the plan, but I know what the plan is. The plan is to have this right here have something to do with this right here. Back it by, I don't know what they're going to do. But the idea is the value of this is about to go way up over the next 4 years. And this is something that doesn't seem to be getting much news or much talk about in the internets. They dumped all this stuff, put all this stuff right there. Go look at it, and brah, there's some crazy stuff in there. And again, they jailed him for years. He's never been wrong. He's never had to retract a story. They've never found false information. It is true leaks. People that have given him information that all of these guys would rather he not have. Then he spent time away for that, allegedly. Oh, what does that mean? What does that mean? And then there's this. I'm not going to read it out loud. You can read it. This is the person that edits the New England Journal of Medicine. She might know. So maybe, just maybe, none of them are safe and effective. Not just those other, none of them. And I can tell you now, see, my boys are 18, and I don't have to worry about some psychopath trying to stick my son with 72 shots in a week or some shit because some idiot that thinks he has, right over that property higher than mine would make some kind of judgment like that. He can now say no because he's 18. But none of them, neither one of them got any shots as children. None. Not a single one. And they were healthier and brighter, and I dare say smarter than most of their peers who were getting just hit with mercury and squalene and parasites and oh my God. Right? Every 6 months. And now they doing, I can't say the words, but that stuff is evil. And they were fine. Somehow they didn't die. I bet you their immune systems are stronger than most everybody, especially if you did the double. And then the younger boy was coerced into taking 2 with instant regret. And we've done many things. This is why I know about this, and this is why I know about this, and this is why I know about this, and this is why I know about this. And I don't have any EDTA here, but anyway, all these different show and tell items I have. Why? Because we had to mitigate the damage. He was having brain fog, cleared that up. He was having intestinal issues, cleared most of those up, but now he still can't do, he's lactose intolerant. Never was, can't even do buttered popcorn. Used to feed him buttered popcorn was a kid, no problem. Now, right? Don't fucking tell me those things were anything but weapons. This was obligatory right there, of course. And notice what time I put that up. Because, well, okay, it doesn't show you the time. But anyway, they had not called it, but I saw very clearly what was going on. Oh, what happened? Oh, whatever could it be? What could have happened? Yeah. Scroll past that or we'll get in trouble. Who are these guys? Oh, yeah. They control your government. Look, there's one guy that supports that flag. There's another guy and there's another one. And then the rest of them all seem to be having dual citizenship. And it doesn't matter which one you pick. These are the guys that are ruling the roost. Okay, I think we can quit tonight. Oh, what could it be? What happened? No idea. Yeah, there's the crux of it. Because they certainly weren't doing math. And if they could do math, anyway. And then this thing, and I'm not saying it was a psyop, but I mean, they took this and turned it into something much, because stuff like this happens with raw milk. Stuff like this happens, a fucking squirrel. How about all the times that CPS comes through the door and takes children? And you guys want to freak out over a fucking squirrel? Thousands in the United States right now. And then they go, "Miss, what happened to the child? We don't know. We lost them. We don't know where they are." On Maui, 50. On Big Island, 100. Here in this one county, more than 1,000 just last year. Over the south border, like I said, low estimate, 320. But you guys want to talk about this world. And how many of those kids that have gone missing were taken at gunpoint, like my son was? And you guys want to talk about a squirrel? I'm sorry, I just drunk. I'm just fucking adding up. I'm sorry. Just drinking the literal tears. Could they? That's the minutio right there. Not going to talk about children's. You get upset about the squirrel, though. Now, maybe when you find out about the children's, you'll get upset like you did with the squirrel. And then, govern me harder, baby. Come on, daddy, govern me harder. He wasn't joking. That's a high-level Mason. He used to control and help control the hearts and minds of what we called Americans. Samuel Clemens and his stories, right? His narratives that everybody read. He told you directly. He wasn't jesting. You guys want to play? Go ahead and play, but understand what the fuck it is you're doing. You're committing fraud. You're telling them that you live in DC. You're telling them that you're an employee, dependent officer, or some other agent of or for that corporation. You're not. That's not your flag. That's their flag that they captured from us. So we made a different flag. And actually, it was flying alongside. That one was the battle flag. The other one was the peace flag, the civilian flag. Every time you put the battle flag in front of your house, that's telling them that, yes, you agree. That's called implied consent. And you are implying that you are in that zip code, which means that you agree that you are in DC. And you ran it up the petard right in front of the house and told everybody that that area underneath that flag, the property, because it's flag law, is in DC under that flag, my imaginary US flag. That's not an American flag. American flag does not look like that. See, there you go. Don't research it. This guy's crazy. Right? Facts. Why would you want to know facts like that? Just lay them down. A more useful weapon. Emotions. They put that in black and white. And questioning authority. You people are questioning authority. How dare? Don't go down the rabbit hole. There's adrenochrome down there. Right? Don't do your own. Just let us tell you what's true. I put that several times. Oh, look, there's the battle flag again. See, I did this. This is what Brandon Joe Williams is doing, right? With one stupid fucking sitonmyface.com and so forth. Because if you're offended, you won't come and get his information, and he doesn't have to deal with your easily offended ass. Just like I don't have to deal with the easily offended asses in math. The homeschool moms, the fucking Karens that thought they could tell me what to post on my page. And who couldn't fucking figure out how math had anything to do with anything. like stolen elections. Oops. For entertainment purposes only, and it's the liberal tears talking. I got high on liberal tears, but I'm gonna tell you, I'll tell you a secret. Going forward, the people that were naughty 4 years ago and who are naughty in this state right now, because if let's go do that, we got to do that quickly before I quit this. Yeah, she won every state that didn't require ID. Wow. Oh, there's all our libraries, and I think we're gonna quit. But yeah, here we go. Okay, let's go over here. Let's go to the House of Math. The House of Math is off the hook. You guys should come over. Again, they hate the House of Math. You know why they hate the House of Math? Because they have tried so hard to bury this and make the sandbag this page. And people come to this page consistently because I have a little following. It's about, I don't know, 200-300 people that come just to see what the hell is this guy going to say next. All right. And one more time, like I said, you only rent them. You rent the liberal tears. Holy cow. I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. I don't drink beer anymore, but that was like having gone to and had 5 or 7 Guinness. Let's let the numbers here in the fair place they call County of Maricopa. This guy right here, he ain't get more votes than this guy right here. How that? And look, just so happens a palindrome, 68-86. And then Kari Lake, she's way down here. You would think that they would vote for him and then they would vote for her too. So what you're trying to tell us, insult our intelligence by saying that 100,000 something, what is that? I can't even see the numbers. Open up you. Oh, it's 84. So let's go look at that. All right, so 100,000 more and would give you 984. So it's not 100,000. It's less than 100,000 people, but 100,000 people or so. Well, what's the actual number? 68,000 and wow, I'm drunk on liberal tears. I can't do math in my head. What's going on? This is scaring me. Let's see here. Just take the difference, which would be 4, which would be 8. So 84,000 votes. There you go. Jeez, scary. So 84,000 silly Arizonans just voted for him and didn't bother to vote for Kari. Right? You believe that? Well, that's what you got to believe. And not only that, they came out in droves. The Democrats, the dumbasses, they didn't let Kamala Harris carry the state because they all voted for this guy, but they didn't vote for her. How fucking stupid do they think we are? This offends me. I mean, just think about it for just a second. Does that make any sense at all? That they would give this guy more votes than they gave her and give her less votes than they gave him? Are we going to let that stand? Well, they did last time because she ain't governor, is she? That was just me goofing around. And then there you go. And again, we point this out. This is all the good jumper that, and this is like all the old PDFs. This thing goes on and on and on. And again, them trying to make it seem like he didn't get over 300 because they want to make it seem like it was closer than it was, and it's not closer than it was. This was a total blowout, and it should have been more than that because I guarantee you, it was. He probably carried these guys too, but they didn't require voter ID, so they could stuff the ballots. He probably carried this state because I can tell you from talking to, I know people in Minnesota. I've tutored lots of kids from Minnesota. We did a ton of business up there. I know people from this place, and this neither one of them, but especially Minnesota, they don't like walls. Just because he was the guy does not make him popular. Because when they install, and this is a good one to see, and that's some kids playing. Let's skip over that. There you go. Dun 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 dun. Should I start singing? Yeah, that's what's happening. We'll see. Allegedly, this is what's happening. Because so far, not sure that this is actually taking place, but I'm pretty confident that's probably what's actually happened here. Is that they created this thing, and then see, yeah, right. The narrative, all of us, and I assume that I'm preaching to the choir here. You didn't do this. You're not doing that. And yeah, they, them, no. That's one of those get the fuck out of my house kind of things. It's the same stuff, except a little bit more of an emphasis on math. And yeah, that's from my website and so forth. And some more. All right, this is absolutely worth your time. Go watch this. This is a great conversation between two intelligent men. Worth your time. And they talk about this right here because basically they have a conversation about sending their kids to college, and he's kind of undecided because, of course, he has the money to put his little girl in a party school right here. They're actually talking about ASU, the party school. And he's like, nah, why don't you tell them to get jobs and learn how to trade instead? Teach them to fish. Don't give them the fish because this is giving them the fish. And you give them to them for a few years and they come back and you don't recognize your child because they're all freaking socialist, communist, illiterate, Satan worshiping jackasses that have infiltrated from the lodges into our universities through the secret societies, Phi Beta Kappa, Boule. Actually, I'm not going to mention them, but yeah, all those guys. This is also worth your time. This is cool. In fact, I'm going to show this. Why not? All right. So this is a woman that was exposing water to images. Can you see? And then she'd freeze the water. She'd like put the image there and then freeze the water. And then she put the image of the image. And then, right? Crazy. The world that you're living in is not what they told you. And then she just put words, kind of like, what's the guy's name? The Japanese doctor. And look, made a big bulbous head. Milk, a nipple. I don't have to use my imagination. That looks like a nipple to me. And a flower, right? It's a representation. A peacock feather, a duck's head. You can't miss that. You don't need imagination. Oh, look. The walrus. Okay, this is just water. All right. There's two ways to program us humans. That's light and sound. Sound makes light. Sound comes first. In the beginning was the word, and then God said, let there be light. And then there was light, because frequency and vibration. This guy named Tesla told you this. We should talk about this. I used to talk about joining in the prayers. And this is the festival. Let's zoom in here. Maga Puha. Maga Puha. is a Buddhist festival celebrated on the full moon day of the third lunar month. Sounds like this other holiday I know, where it's the Easter is celebrated on the first Sunday after the full moon, which is the approximate mathematical approximation of the first astronomical full moon, which is again what month? March, which is usually going to be the third month, usually, but the moon calendar is different. But oh look, it's the same fucking thing. There's only one of us here, people. The Christ consciousness, it dwells within all, and some choose and some don't. Anyway, oh look, this is a teacher, and she's saying, yeah, homeschooling, do the homeschool thing. No scared homeschool. All right, and then like I said, it's the same thing because I post a lot of the same stuff. Oh look, yeah. And then this is cool, and maybe I'll end there. I got it. Like I said, I'm just drunk on liberal tears, rambling around the internets. Oh, look, it gets cooler. Because then it doesn't make the problem. It's irrational. Come on, the mathematics is cool. Oh, look. And then pretty soon, see, in the beginning was the word. The word vibrates, frequency and vibration. At certain frequencies and vibration, you get light. And then the light and sound can solidify into things like bodies and water and all these other things. And then we have sounds that we make. When I say water, an image comes up in your mind. If you understood how powerful the words actually were, and this right here should give you a bit of an understanding or maybe an inkling of just how powerful the words are when it comes to water, because you are mostly water, and that water is very impressionable. When you touch things, when you see things, it makes an imprint on the water, and especially when you hear things. And then as you're watching the screen right here, there's all kinds of entrainment going on underneath your conscious level, because they understand this. They understand that you're mostly made out of water. So if you use certain words, spells, that are detrimental, the water gets dirty or pilau or disorganized. If you use spells that are more organizing and beautiful, the water will react in kind. Okay, let's quit sharing over here for a second. Let's see here. I'll go back here, just sharing. And then there you go. All right. That's me rambling for, oh, look, it's not even been that long. It's only like 2 hours and a half. And look, 229,222. When I look, wow, it was 22922 when I decided to see how long we've been going. Okay. Thanks for watching. E pluribus unum. One more time. The corporation set up to divide us, to try and make war, to make sure that we're looking at each other and not looking at them. To make sure that we're confused about who we are and our status on the earth, telling us that we don't have standing, telling us that fraudulent documents give them a nexus and turn you into property that they can make claims over. And you never sit there like a warrior calls, this guy right here. Oh, do I want to share screen one more time or should I quit? It's only I thought it was going to be longer. I've made videos longer than this. So I'll tell you what, let's go over here for just a second. And let's see here. I'm got to call up this, and then I got to call up that, and then I'll be able to go there. Yes. All right. This guy's website. This guy's website's worth the time too. Okay. And that's going to be this. I'm going to go there. All right. So he talks about the 3 questions. Anybody here got a contract with me? Anybody got a contract that states that I'm their property, or that I've agreed to be their property, or that I've agreed, right? Nobody's going to come forward, but you got to ask them the magic questions. You got a contract with me? Is there anybody here that claims me as their property? Nobody here claims me as their property. All right. And quit calling me Mr. You can refer to me as sir. Let's see here. And they're going to keep calling you Mr. and you can object. And then you can absolutely say, is this court of public record? They hate that because they're doing private bar business, as I put in that book. I read to you last time. Anyway, this guy is a firebrand up there, but he's a Canadian. On the North American continent, there are 2 places being administered for the king, the English king. The one is the place we call the United States. That's America, the north of the border with Mexico. And the other part is called Canada. Canada actually is a place in DC. You know that? Canadians hate when they hear that. So is New Zealand, so is Australia. And there's one more. The Five Eyes are in there. Oh, no, wait, that's it. The Australians, the New Zealanders, the Canadians, and the Americans all exist as fictional entities in United States Corporation, which is domiciled in Washington, D.C. And actually, it's just D.C. now. They've taken away the Washington. So this is him having his own beefs there. But there's a lot of good stuff on a Warrior Calls website. So you might want to spend a little time over here because he's trying to educate people on standing up and how to defend themselves and how to handle yourself and get your paperwork done so that you can take back your power from these insane warmongering lunatics that have infiltrated United States Corporation, a lot of state of corporations, state of Arizona, Maricopa, Hawaii for sure, but also Oregon, also definitely California, Texas. You guys are not immune. Florida, you're definitely. Who's that guy? He's doing a good job. But who is DeSantis? Let's see. Where? Everywhere. There's like one state where you had a governor that understood that she didn't have. And she shot a dog or something, and everybody now, oh my God, she shot a dog. What about the 325,000 children? The squirrel, the dog, the raccoon. What about the children? Well, that's a false dichotomy. Yeah, you're right, because the children are far more important than the squirrel or the dog or the raccoon. Okay. I think I quit. There's a couple other things I could do, but I've been ranting long enough because that's all this was. This is just me being drunk on double tears, and now I got to sober up with just plain old water. Okay, I'll come back another time, and we'll talk a little bit more about certain things. Okay, e pluribus unum. Yeah, it'd be good. And like I said, educate self, educate others.